Hello and welcome back to Blackbird Mindfulness. It's been a little while since I last saw you, so I thought I'd better put something on. So what do I talk about? Oh, I know, my dog, Rosie. Let me explain a little bit about Rosie. I took her out the other day for a walk and she's fine, but she's quite highly strung. And we came across two dogs around the corner and they were lively. They were bounding around and barking and yapping and chasing sticks and chasing stuff that, well, wasn't moving. They were just that type of dog. But my Rosie, she was fine. She just plodded on. Normally she'd be a bit nervous, but she was okay. She stood by me and we walked on. 5 minutes later, we walked around the corner and there were two other dogs coming towards us. They were old. They were placid. One of them was dragging its back leg a bit. No problem, we'll just walk past them. No, Rosie thought otherwise. This is the time to attack. So she did. She barked and she yapped and she went down on her back and I had to apologise to the owner. I said, I don't know what's happened to my dog. She's not normally like this. So I phoned up my dog behaviourist friend when I got home. What's happening here, Wendy? I said. And she explained that although Rosie didn't exhibit any aggression when she passed the first two dogs, she was very, very frightened and anxious, and cortisol and adrenaline were whizzing through her body. But it didn't stop. It just carried on being there. So 5 minutes later, when she saw the other dogs, she's still hyper aroused. She is still ready to fight or flee. And that's what happened. She saw them and she was still ready to go and she went. So I thought I would introduce you to this, the window of tolerance. Can you see this? Okay. All right. So what happened to Rosie happens to us all. We all got a green zone that we're happy to work in. So stress comes along and stress goes. Someone, if you go to work, someone at work might say something to you, might look at you a bit funny, but you just shrug it off. It's not an issue. It might be that the bill comes in or the kids want another pair of trainers because the other ones are out of fashion. They're at least 2 weeks old now. So maybe that's where you're at and it's not really a problem. But if you get a lot of stress all of the time and there is no escape from it, it becomes toxic. And what happens is we find that we can no longer work in our window of tolerance. We end up going to the top of this diagram and we start to feel too much. We become hyper aroused. And so the least little thing sets us off. Just like Rosie, a placid dog walking down the road, no way, that could well be aggressive. Let's attack it first. Or it might be you just run away. So we feel too much. The alternative is that we feel too little and we make our way to the bottom, outside our window of tolerance, and we just flop there in the chair. So if we have too much stress, it becomes toxic. And then we either work to the top of that diagram, we become hyper aroused, fight, flight, flee, all of those things, or we work to the bottom where I don't care. Yeah, kids are asking, what's for tea? What's for tea? And you say, oh, I don't know, chuck ice and chips, get what you like. So what we do, remember with mindfulness, remember the first 3 or 4 sessions, notice, notice, notice. Notice, stop what's happening. Just stop. What's going on? Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your breathing in your belly. Let go. What do you notice? Am I hyper aroused? Do I flip my lid at the least little thing? It's not good, is it? It's not good. Okay, I know. Or you become hypo aroused where actually you just care less and less. And the way to deal with that is to find a way to either come down or come up. So if you're up here and you're hyper aroused, what are you going to do to calm down? What do you normally do? So as long as you don't do it all the time, it's fine. So it might be put on a little bit of classical music, a bit of relaxing music, whatever works for you to bring you down from being hyper vigilant. That's what you do. Or if you're down there and you just can't give a fig, All right? Need something that's going to excite you and move you up into your window of tolerance. So it might be put on some loud music. Headphones though, think of the neighbours. Loud music, okay, or whatever it is. Maybe go out and buy yourself a bar of chocolate. Remember, not all the time because we end up in a vicious flower. Or what about trying some mindfulness? Sitting down, feeling your feet on the floor, your bum on the chair, feeling your hands at the end of your arms, gently noticing your breath. Window of tolerance. Hope that makes sense. Okay, keep being mindful.